Okay, this should be working. Can you talk?
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. I have to turn my music off though. It's sad.
Okay.
Okay.
Secretly, that's why I'm having you record, so I can listen to music
So
while
actually
voting.
paying attention. Unfortunate.
Alright.
Here, let's.
I think everyone that's Derpy reacted.
Derpy
I'm
did react.
just gonna start, and he'll be here. Okay. Ball Sombra. Ryan. Pass. I presume we got Tracer. Probably. Maybe not. Yeah. Probably just go Tracer here. Actually, we should go Sombra. This is a total Sombra moment. Do we go Sombra?
No.
I'll be so happy. Okay. This is a Sombra moment. This is the cast Sombra brawl. Still definitely play around Tracer though. Okay. I'll make not too many corals. Good rotate. Yeah, that's good. We're gonna have to get ready to tank a ball engage though. Okay, so what's my issue?
We're split.
Yes. So splitting is like kind of fine, but we have to think about how we're doing it, right? Like by us going here, we're sending both supports here. Like we're just giving them this free slime. You know what I mean? So if you really want to like take a different space away from your Ryan, because you think the ball's going to go and slime your Ryan right from here, so go back here more. You know what I mean? Like make it be farther away. By being here, you can either play here, or you just don't play here, right? I mean, it just makes sense. Like you just get slimed. If you play here, you think they're gonna slime, you can drop. It's just like a small positioning thing. So our Lucio ends up going there. You haven't got pressured yet, so you don't feel the need. Very low. Good pick. So what's my other issue? What could we do? Instead of just sitting on point.
Speed on their supports.
Even if you can't speed on them, you can. It's a bird drop and it's trolling. But even if you can't speed on them, you need to get off point here. Like we've already capped it. We don't need to sit here anymore. We take this high ground from them so their ball can't just sit up here and poke us out. Alright, so you just path up these stairs and take like over here, probably. And then we're just safer, right? Like it's harder for ball to engage. We can poke out ball more because we actually have space to do so. From here, we're making it really hard to spam out the ball, right? Like we just have we're just waiting to get jumps. So there's just really no reason to be here. Our cast can't really play the game because of where we're positioning. So yeah, we're eventually just going to tank and engage. If their ball didn't solo engage, our cast would have died. You need to resolve. You go out too far whenever your team's not doing anything, and you're gonna get punished for that. So yeah, it's really hard to ever win this fight because we're just sitting in a very small room, basically. Like we're just not a very small room. Sorry, we're just sitting in a very bad and open spot. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
Like we're never gonna win the fight, and we're never gonna force them out if we just sit here and wait. So I think I'm glad we're getting the idea of against ball company to go point and like force. So we do that, but after we force point, we just like take this space back, right? So we can actually like do things again. Good shots, Derpy. Very good. We just need to hard rotate point right now as a team. Good TP. This is good. I like how we're playing this. This is very awkward. That's unfortunate. I feel like we had time to top up Derpy there. Or we like LOSing. Yeah, so like playing here is good, like I told you to, but here in this situation there's no one pressuring you, so you can take like a more aggressive angle if that makes sense. Or even like drop here, right? Because like no one's pressuring you, Pluto. Does that make sense?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Need to hard go on Berg right now. Yeah, so we're taking. I told us that we need a hard flip point, but we're taking that like we really need to just go on this break. Like she's mispositioning so bad, it's like a win con for us, right? By letting the break play here, we're letting her give her team inspire and like proc it with Hookshot and like actually be able to give it to her team. What should happen? It should be like a longer distance thing, and she shouldn't really be able to get any value except packs. So we just need to hard commit on going on this brig.
We definitely
Which
were calling to go on break. It just seemed like we couldn't.
there's a
kill the
bunch of stuff happening.
disruption, Yeah. Because like I wanted to, but every time
Yeah,
we
we just
did-
need to like. To be honest, we kind of just need to ignore it and go on brig.
Yeah.
Like, if the disruption's never gonna stop until we like actually pressure them, right?
Yeah, but every time we also like I wanted to go on, or it felt like everyone was low, so then we really couldn't.
That's because we're positioning wrong. We're like letting them spam us without spamming them.
So could we like, as we're coming out, instead of going down our stairs, should we just like rotate around their stairs?
So it really depends where their brig is playing, or where their backline's playing. So like, if their backline is playing in a place where you can't get to them, then yeah, we can we just go through our stairs, right? Because they're going to be so far away that they can't get an effective like dive off.
Mm-hmm.
But if we're getting spammed because they're playing in a space we can run on them, we run on them. Does that make sense? Like,
Yeah.
it's going to be fight dependent, but and generally speaking, we shouldn't be that low. Like, I get what you're saying. Our whole team was pretty low. That just shouldn't really happen. Like, we should be able to make this rotate fast with amp and like be fine. We're gonna obviously take some damage in rotation, but I don't think we should be in the state that we really were. Like, you see how split we are going. Like, this rotation should not take this long.
Yeah.
That was a really good peel with your shield, but we just need to do it faster. That was really good peel shield, though. That's unfortunate.
Oh yeah.
That's
Damn.
also
There it
unfortunate.
is. I knew
Man.
it was coming. Oh.
Yeah, so we used our like pretty poorly. And like honestly, like this isn't super coachable. This is just kind of unfortunate to be honest, but yeah. Your shadow was like pretty rough too. I think. What do you think you could use shadow for in this comp?
Ball.
Yeah, like you can solo shadow any of these three people. Like obviously don't shadow Tracer unless she has no blinks and no recall, and obviously don't shadow Sombra unless she like has no E, right? But if you can get a solo shadow on any of these people, it's very big. Because obviously the DPS are really squishy, and then Ball is also pretty, like, I know he has a lot of HP, but if you shatter him, he'll die in this comp. Because you're actually giving your team something that they can consistently shoot at. Which isn't really a thing normally.
Yeah.
So for this point, it's really just a pathing thing. Like, we need to path together and faster. And then once we get the point, we need to, like, take this space back from them so we have, like, effective poke and, like, can actually win a fight. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
That's not a huge deal. I think we can definitely improve upon both those things pretty fast.
Yeah, I feel like we played pretty well against their comp.
Especially the retaking space thing. I think that's just because we just didn't know to do it. So.
Baby steps.
So once we cap point here, where do I think, or where do you think I want you to go? There are two semi-acceptable places. There's a lot of semi-acceptable places, honestly. This point's pretty rough, but
back right probably felt best in
back
game.
right here.
Right, yeah.
Okay. I don't think that's bad. What's the only problem with it?
Depends on where their supports are.
Mm-hmm. The main problem that I have with that is you can't output damage onto the ball before he engages, right? Like, we can't ever spam out their team. We're just letting them engage on us. Does that make sense? Like, we need to spam out this ball so we can delay their engages and, like, make them have less engages. Or take engages while low, at least, right? Like, if we're letting this ball roll through us starting at 1,000 HP every time, we're never going to win. Like, we're never going to kill him, excuse me. So by playing back here, you, like, really limit yourself. This is a really good place to stabilize too, though, because it has very bad LOS for the rest of their team, right? So this is like a really safe second spot. So I think what you should do actually is you should start like here, or like, I don't know, a more aggressive angle. And it's the same thing like over here. If you start up here, you take like a safer angle back here or something, or back here. But you need to start in an aggressive position, poke out ball. If you get too low or lose somebody, then you can give space, right? But I think we're giving space too early. And we're just like giving their backline exactly what they want, right? They have the whole fucking map to play if we go back in this corner, right? They can literally be anywhere. So if we take a more aggressive position, like we force them, like say we started up here, we force them to go over here, and then from there, like we can walk through here. You know what I mean? Like we actually have a chance of getting to them. Versus starting all the way in the very back, we have no poke on their ball, and we just like let them do whatever they want. That is a very safe place to play, though. Like that's where you should play after you like tank and engage if you need to stabilize. Mm. What do we think the problem is here?
I can't really play the game.
Their Zen is just getting free reign too.
Mm-hmm. So, do we think we did something like? How do I word this? In a question form.
So
I think I'll just say it instead of wording it in a question form. So we have 11 seconds, right? So do you think going here early, or do you think going here earlier is the right decision?
no, we probably
No.
should have rotated on their supports.
Yeah. So if you take this space, the next like 10 seconds, it forces their supports back, and then you go points, right? If you like make one of them low or something, or I don't know. If you apply like actual pressure onto these people, then they have to leave, obviously, and then it's easier to take point. Also, what's going to happen here is by going here, you're forcing to engage onto you, right? So if ball tracer are not set up, where are they? Ball tracer would be ready to go into you. Sombra would not be. If you just hard go through here, what's going to happen is ball tracer is going to slam. They're going to use all their resources in this engagement, right? Like trying to go onto you. So then once you go back to point, you can cap, and they have to like cycle CDs still. Does that make sense? Like they're not ready to contest point, because if they contest point, they'll feed.
Oh yeah.
Ball's gonna use E. Tracer might like have to recall, or you know what I mean? Like we'll force out CDs by baiting this engage. Just by going back here, we kind of get like a really rough fight because our rotation is too quick. We give them so much time to set up because of how early we go. Like we tell them exactly right, and then we just sit there for 10 seconds, and we're sitting in like a really open spot. While we do have to cap, we have to either force resources or like I don't know. We have to do something else instead of just walking point. Because we're in a really bad spot. And as far as like how we played this exactly, technically speaking, like our cast is not giving them enough respect, and we're not shielding enough either, and we're not stacked enough to like actually shield slam. So it's just like a lot of micro things there. We do end up flipping point.
The Zen's absolutely destroying my shield, so I like never have it.
Yeah. Yeah, we just need to like basically our plan is to like hard LOS backline to like play here basically. play stacked here. Does that make sense? You need to LOS this Zenbrig.
Yeah.
So you just can't.
That's
If
what
you're
I
gonna
was-
peek, also like technically you can play here. This is a smaller thing, but like if there's Zenbrigs playing this side of wall, you can like take a different angle. If that makes sense. But it's hard to track that make fight. We know that this will be safe, so we just like stack around here. So yeah. But if we do both of those things, it's going to be really hard for them to actually contest the first rotation of point. Because they won't have CDs to do it, and we'll be LOSing their backline. Obviously, once we start LOSing their backline, the backline's going to move, so we just have to we have to make that like a constant thing in our head that we need to like reposition to LOS backline again. I think... Wait, Rosalva, you were here to say me, or here to tell me, here to hear me say that this is a somber moment, right? On the first map?
A somber moment? I don't think so.
Okay. So in Pram, me and Marv talked about this for a while. I had you guys play Tracer instead with this comp. Just because it's better into every comp that isn't ball. But into ball, Sombra is extremely good here and gives you really easy win cons, and it's easier to play around. I was just thinking at like this level of play, I think you could force Tracer, and I think you're really good at Tracer, but I think you're also pretty good at Sombra. So Sombra would give us win cons to hack ball and stuff, right? Like it would just make it easier for everyone. Does that make sense? You play it like 6-man, like you just sit inside of your team on Sombra and right click the ball. So I think you could try that next time.
Okay.
You'll also be able to hack flankers that like int and are out of position. Like if Tracer uses like 2 recalls, or 2 recalls, I can't speak, like 2 blanks or something. You can hack and burn. Yeah, this is just a really rough spot. I think... Honestly, this is really hard. The ball's gonna live forever. After losing first fight here, it's really hard, to be honest.
I think we win this map though.
Really?
Pretty sure we go 1 and 2 on Busan.
Seems like it, yeah.
We win this
Yeah, we
point,
win.
and then the last point is no goes.
No cap. No.
Once you flip point and can get space, it's not that bad, but before you have point and can take space, it's really hard to kill ball. That's unfortunate again. I like the concept behind it. You were trying to sell a shutter ball, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. I don't think you technically needed it as all, because you already have a point, but it's fine still.
Tempo. I don't know. I just also am holding on to it too long, so.
No, I get that. So what's my problem here?
We're not taking any space.
So even if you play up here, right? What's gonna happen is you're either gonna be able to poke ball out and like their flankers or whatever, or their flankers are gonna wrap over here, and their Zenbrig will like wrap here or something, and then you can walk on Zenbrig, right? Basically, what we're trying to do by walking up here is we're forcing mistakes. Idealistically, this team can get around you walking up here without dying, obviously. Like, they can play their Zenbrig so far away, and then they can, like, engage on you, and then we'll have to kite, and, like, Zenbrig will walk up when they engage, right? Like, they can do that. But the thing is, we can tank that engage still. And, well, depending on ults, we can. If they have, like, EMP, maybe not, and we have no ults, but... Do we see, like, why we need to be up here? Like, we need to force a mistake, versus back here, we just give them the whole map without having a chance to, like, win the fight.
Yeah. Plus we get
Like, if we're at
every angle.
Yeah, if we're at an ult disadvantage anyway, like, the same argument can be made, like, sitting back here that, like, oh, we're just gonna get ulted on and lose. So, by being up here, at least you have, like, a chance to do something, right? Being back here, it's, like, really hard to actually play the game. So we just need to, like, walk upstairs and take the space. I'm very interested to see how we win this fight. Probably, like, a goated beat That's the only way I think it's really possible. Good job cutting lines. Doing a pretty good job of LOSing supports. Nice. Yeah, so like we shouldn't really be able to kill ball, but like this just goes to show like how bad balls are in this tier, right? Like we're killing this ball whenever he has uncontested supports and still like didn't get poked out pre-fight, right? So if we imagine if we like contested his supports and poked him out pre-fight, like we would just be able to blow him up, you know what I mean? I honestly don't hate our mid fights that much. I think we're just besides like I just think we're just really scared to take space. That's been our main issue. It's just once we win the fight, we need to like take space. So whether that be going up here or like up here on this map, and pressuring out their supports, or like on this map going up here, right? We need to take space in some manner, instead of just like waiting to lose, pretty much.
I think this one's pretty scuffed.
All good. That's what VoDs are for.
Yeah.
Left is good. Bottom near. Okay. Wait, what's the difference between what they're doing and what we're doing? Not at this exact moment, sorry. Go back like here. So what's the difference between like how teams are positioned?
They're rotating for more.
They're rotating and like their team has an angle, right?
Yeah.
These three people can play the game and then we have an off angle here. This is wrong technically. Like how we should position is this should be their cast. And this should be Lucia, or this should be Man, then this should be Lucia, or this should be Lucia. You know what I mean? This should somewhere here. These three people should be Lucia, Bap, May, and then this person should be Cass. And then they're positioning like pretty perfectly if you're gonna take this side. So what we're doing wrong is like our teammates just don't have an angle. Like they just can't shoot the enemy team, while their team is gonna have an angle as soon as we swing, right?
Mm-hmm.
Like they just have much more space. My Cass in some form needs to be on an off angle. So whether that be here if your team's gonna take left, or here if your team's gonna take right, like you just need to not stack. So you can apply more pressure to enemy team. Because if you're here, you just can like think back, right? You know what I mean? Like you have a better angle, even with this stupid ass thing in the way. So we're losing the resource war because our team can't really play because we're not at a good spot. We're down lamp. So what do you think we should do?
Back up.
Mm-hmm. This is a wonderful moment to. Okay. So they waste lamp, so we push, which is a good idea. But how else should we play it? Right here, I see like a wonderful golden opportunity to do something.
Take space.
Or not quite yet. So our lamp CD is coming back before theirs, right? They just wasted lamp. So ours is back like pretty much 10 seconds. Yeah.
So we should
12 seconds ahead of theirs. So we stabilize here. Yeah, we stabilize here, get full HP, make sure everyone's okay. And then once these walls are down, we take space, we walk into their team. By the time that we actually are getting there and like fighting, we'll get lamp and we'll have a lamp advantage and we'll hard win the brawl, right?
Mm-hmm.
So wasting lamp is like a really big deal. And not even wasting it, like having to use it early, I guess is a better way to say it. So if we have to use lamp early, we should normally give space. They fucked up really bad with their lamp and wall, so it actually ends up being fine for us, but we need to push lamp advantage and brawl more than we do, I think. If we're using lamp, or if we have lamp advantage, we literally have no chance to brawl. Like, we just hard walk into them and just swing the whole time with lamp up. We can't die. Like, I mean, it just makes sense, right? So we end up rushing as soon as they waste lamp, or like, oh, we're even in resources, and then we push it too hard.
Mhm.
Right, so on the other... I don't hate the shatter attempt, but I think you... kill Ryan for it. Okay. I still think that that's just like a... Stabilizing makes sure that not only like that we would push that lamp advantage there, but we would also be on the same page, right?
Yeah, that makes sense.
We're gonna be able to see each other, everyone knows where everyone is, and then we're like ready to take another fight. Very fast Blizzard. So we've kind of wasted 2 ults so far. We should go Ryan for this. Okay, I mean, okay, it's not bad, yeah. It's not bad, actually. I don't think... My only issue... There's been 2 fights in under 20 seconds of Koth, so I think as the team that's playing defense here, if we have ult advantage... this is kind of a small thing, but we can play slow. Does that make sense? Like, we want the points... I actually don't mind that we're playing fast at all, because like I felt like that's where we were losing before. It's because we were really scared to do stuff. So I'm glad we're doing things, but in this specific scenario, I think you can let them walk out of choke and then Blizzard, just because like it'll give you an extra, give you extra percentage on the point. But it doesn't really matter that much. I'm glad that we're playing first. I'd much rather us play first than like go too early than never do anything. Good wall, give space. Very split, very, very split. Okay, what's our problem? I just said it, but what caused this?
The window?
Yeah, but beyond that, once we wall it, what caused it? Because we wall window, right?
Yeah.
So, why did we go different directions?
We didn't call where we were going.
So we need to cut either... The correct place is to go here. Does that make... Do you know why? Right?
Yeah. More
It's just
Cover.
natural cover. Like, you're going here, you're kind of just, like, giving them high... Do you know what I mean? So we just need to call rotating back to...
I have a
here.
question.
Yeah, what's up?
I wanted to window when they were like going up the stairs, but we
Like here?
also, yeah, but we
Mhm.
also want to do like the Rhine window like fire strike thing.
Mhm.
But like, would it have been better to just like window stairs there?
Was your Ryan ready to fire strike?
I don't think so, but I wanted to just because I know it was like that's usually, and it would have been better to do that, but we like comped not to, I think.
Well, we used fire strikes early, so we can't. This is why these plans need to happen ahead of time. A bit more.
Should we always like fire strike window though?
Yes, every single time. Unless it's mid fight and you're like, oh, I can turn this with window, then you don't have to. If you're using it pre-fight, you have to fire strike.
Okay.
Because think about it, what's the only damage that goes through this Ryan shield, right? Like, what's the only chance of you actually getting a burst kill with
Yeah.
window? Is window fire strike. Like, it's just too good to not do. Now, obviously, like, if you're using window mid-fight and you're up here, right, and you're like, oh, I'm turning this fight with window, obviously you can window and you don't need to fire strike, but if you're doing it pre-fight like this, our plan should always be to window fire strike. And doing it while they're walking up these stairs is a really good idea, right? Because, like, it's so hard to dodge fire strike, but we just need to be, like, we need to call that pre-fight, if that makes sense.
I'm pretty sure I was saying that I want a window here or I can window here.
Okay, well,
It just didn't happen.
That's okay. At least we have the idea to do it, right? If you want to do it, say you're going to do it. Like, be direct.
Okay.
You don't even know. Like, the only thing I would ask, like, make sure your Ryan has a fire strike, obviously. And I think Halo uses them early because, like, we weren't sure that we were doing it right. If we, like, made it the plan that we were going to do that, Halo wouldn't use fire strikes early. So, small thing, but yeah. I like the idea of doing it up here, and that gives us, like, a really easy win con. So yeah, that's good. We also just need to, again, we just need to make sure we're cutting to the same place. Also, for you three, if you notice that your team's like gonna get fucked here, because you guys take the right angle, right? Don't be scared to say like, come over here, come stack on your Cass, or come stack on your Mei. Right? Because like, obviously, like, we're all gonna make individual mistakes of like going to the wrong place. Like, that just happens, so don't be scared to tell your team to go to the right place.
Yeah, we were definitely calling for popping window here too, and I think that's why we stay stairs, so we can pop it and counter window.
Yeah, it's just better to do it from here,
Yeah.
right? It's okay, just all out point. No need for noon. This isn't really flippable. Oh my gosh, we got random picks.
We don't win it though.
I think it's better to just save noon for a retake. Also, we should like just die.
Oh yeah, they have point.
Yeah. As soon as they flip, just drop shield and accept the loss. If it's not winnable, I mean. So what should our plan be here?
Play fast and make them use ults.
Yep.
Which I think it was.
Okay, good. That is good. We did a pretty decent job of it. We went out a bit like staggered, but we just got what we wanted. We got Blizzard. I think the only thing is like as well, don't be scared to shatter if we get like a pick or something. If you see like a really huge opportunity to do so, but yeah. Yeah. What are we waiting on?
We were talking about going
I don't
the other
know.
way. We're gonna rotate around. But
Do we think that's like worth it?
I don't know.
So when would it be good to rotate around? There's two situations in which it would be very good.
When they have mail and we have high noon.
Oh my gosh, look at you.
Wow.
Technically, the only other one would be if we're scared of window fire stroke early. But yes, that's what I was thinking of originally, or those two. If they don't have that, then there's no reason, right? Like if they're gonna hardball us in this choke, then Blizzard is so good for us there. Yeah, I think I've noticed this a decent amount. I think Resolve, you go in front of Ryan sometimes. I feel like a decent amount of the time that Resolve goes in front of you, like we should just be going.
Yeah,
But
when I see
either
Resolve, I
way,
usually just go.
yeah, either way.
I was
Still,
waiting for
like,
a long time.
Yeah.
yeah, either way, just like yeah, Resolve is perma out first. And I think, I don't know, like I agree with the timings that Resolve's having, but at the same time you can't go in, right? So we do need to go to chokes a bit faster for sure.
Whoa. Big beat.
Honestly, okay, I don't like pathing right here. I just don't think it's good for the ults that we have.
Yeah.
Really, honestly, this comes down to like we took too long. This like our losses here are just we either took too long to play the game, or we walked like those kind of go hand in hand. Like we need to walk out faster if chokes, and then honestly, like I think as well. I don't know, like how do I say this? We get very, very splits, like extremely split. Like my backline, I know we're zoned by Blizzard, right? But we have to like we wouldn't be zoned by Blizzard if we actually all just walked through choke at the same time with amp. Like we all move at the same speed. So if my Ryan can get through, then the rest of my team can get through. And like the 1 out of like 3 or 4 times that doesn't happen, right? The 1 out of 3 or 4 times it doesn't get through the choke. It's still gonna like result in many more fight wins than like if we're split like that. You know what I mean? Like at that point, all they have to do is wall one of you off, like either wall choke or wall you guys, and walk on the other one, and we just insta lose, right? So we just need to make sure we hard walk through chokes together. Honestly, I think that's our main thing, and then not off angling. A large a really easy way to think about like why we're losing for like for Ryan on this mirror and even Ryan in the ball. We're just not applying pressure. Does that make sense? Like our casts should be off angling here, so we put pressure on their BAP so they can't do whatever they want. We're letting their tank do whatever they want. We're on this point, we're not playing up here to poke out their ball pre-fight, or poke out anyone pre-fight, or just letting them have the whole map for free. And then on first point as well, we're just like we're not playing in an aggressive position whatsoever. Like we just sit point and just like accept the loss. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
We need to be like more proactive. But yeah, that's really all. I think we just need to be much more proactive.
I know, watching it though, I feel like we played really good compared to like some of the scripts.
Yeah, no, I think
so-
I'm very happy with how we're playing right into the ball. I think once we fix the mistake of not being proactive at all, like just taking space, it's really simple, right? Like we just take space and quick flip. I think after that, we'll be playing it pretty well, honestly. Like I'll be pretty happy with how we're playing it.
Yeah, so if we
And
play it like we're going up against a monkey, how we were doing it.
yeah, like the idea is that you flip and then you take space. Like you just need to flip first because you probably won't win the fight, but you can always win in a neutral flipping this point. Like you always can do it. Like they just can't touch forever versus your comp can just bunker. So that's the idea of why you need to flip first. But yeah, this is a significant upgrade from how we were playing it in the ball before as well. So don't feel like bad or anything. I'm very happy with that improvement as well. But we just also need to take space once we flip point. We have like step 1 of 2 done. So
Sweet.
that is all. Good job.
Nice.
Yeah. I promised I'd keep it shorter, so